Hello people out there, happy Wonder, not exactly Thursday because I'm posting it on a Saturday, and I will be very honest, I actually did not have the time to film this week, but I decided that I was gonna make something, and it would not be my usual silly videos, but more something slightly serious. And I will tell you right now so that you can close out of your browser if you don't want to hear it, that I am going to be talking about politics. Specifically, the American elections that recently happened like 2-3 days ago. And I will tell you now as well that I am not going to start this video angry. I'm not going to start this video by telling you what you should and should not do, because I hope that as human beings, every single one of us, even people not in America, would know that prejudice and bigotry isn't the way to go. I actually wrote out what I wanted to say because I was very afraid that I would forget something, and I wanted to make sure that things that I said were, I guess in a sense, correct. I know that everyone is still reeling from what happened on Wednesday in America. We all know that America fucked up big time. They had to choose between a woman who has 30 years of experience in the political fields, who've had her fair share of mistakes, versus a businessman who's gone bankrupt several times, has several suits filed against him for not paying his workers, for sexual assault, for child molestation, and the list goes on. And America chose to give the job as the leader of the free country, free world apparently, to this man. And as a result of that, people of color, people in the LGBT community, Muslims, women, differently abled people are all terrified. And I think we've all seen the adverse effects of a Trump presidency already, beginning with all the horror stories that Asian Americans and people of color have shared in schools, on the streets, on public transportations. The results did upset me because everyone in my office was following it, and some people were saying maybe Trump is what America needs, and I got upset about it. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but I was very upset about it. And I did tear up watching Hillary Clinton's concession speech. And like I said, I'm not gonna start this video angry. I'm done with the anger. I had my angry moment. I've said my piece with that anger on Facebook, my personal Facebook already. But right now, I still want to talk about it. Without anger, it's more of, I guess, an open letter to people everywhere, not just people in America, because this isn't something people in America should only be talking about. This is everyone's business to be talking about. Because as much as we try to deny it, America is still a big superpower in terms of your economy, and developing countries look to them as role models on how to develop their countries. And it's very scary that a man like Trump is someone in power, and that is the role model we're gonna have for the next 4 years. So I'm gonna start this by telling you a story, right? So I walk to work from the train station to my office building, and it's about a 10-minute walk. And just the other day, the day right after the elections, I saw a blind man. He was walking alone with his walking stick. So I sort of sidled up closer because I didn't want to intrude on his personal space. I wasn't sure if he would accept help or if he needed help, and that he was more than capable of going where he wanted to go on his own. But I wanted to stay close in case he needed help. Because the thing is, in Malaysia, when you're walking on roadsides, it's always blocked by cars that are double parked there. And you know, true enough, the blind man nearly walked into the car, and just as he was about to, I wanted to reach out to help him, but I'm very clumsy, so I tripped over my own feet. But to my surprise, it wasn't just me that was keeping an eye on this blind man. It was this other woman who immediately grabbed hold of his arm and said in Malay, "Encik, depan you ada kereta." And I thought, okay, that was it, you know, she was done. She guided him away from the car, and I thought that was it. She was just gonna walk off now. But instead, she offered to help him to get to where he wanted to go, which coincided with where she was going for work. So she brought him there, like all the way there. And I watched them going to the building together because that was on the way to my workplace. That's when I remembered. That's when I realized that there is still something humane left in humanity. We are seeing horror stories of people losing that humane touch, but it's still there. And I believe very strongly that this is how Trump will lose. Even if he's president of the United States, he is going to lose. Because people everywhere know that a man like Trump, who endorses bigotry, who endorses prejudice, who endorses misogyny, homophobia, and the mistreatment of differently abled people, will never win as long as people remain decent. And as long as the same decent people don't support Trump and whatever values he lives and breathes, and continue to treat the people around them with decency, with kindness, with love, acceptance, and respect, Trump will continue to lose. I know it's very scary, it's very terrifying that people like Trump, admittedly, who have very skewed moral compasses of what is right and wrong, exist within our society. We all know someone who shares the same values as Donald Trump. They may not know who he is as a person, but they share his bigotry, they share his prejudice. We've all had run-ins with them some way or another. And they're among us, they're the people we work with, they're the people we go to school with, they're people we pass by in the streets, they're the people that live in our housing areas. These people exist. And right now we are seeing that they're not afraid of voicing out this prejudice. The same way they weren't afraid after what happened with Britain leaving the EU. And they aren't afraid of acting on it because someone in power says it's okay. That someone in power has validated that hatred. But we can do something about it. Not just people in America, but people everywhere else. If you see something happening, speak up. Because nobody deserves to be a victim of hate. Keep your mind open and your heart accepting of the people around you. It doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter the color of their skin or their religion. Just accept them. It's not that hard. Continue to fight, to protest, to lobby against stupid legislations that Trump and Pence wants to bring into play, like conversion therapy, banning Muslims, making them register. Lobby against it. You can do something about it. Keep on loving and respecting and treating people with kindness and acceptance. Teach your children and the people around you what it means to be human. Teach them that they're not entitled to their privileges just because of their color of their skin, their religion, their gender, or their sexuality. If we look at the popular vote, Hillary Clinton won. Millennials voted for her overwhelmingly. And what this means is that there is still hope, not just for America, but also for Malaysia and every other democratic country out there who've suffered their fair share of people like Trump in power. Because this means that when every single millennial, every kid in that Kids' Choice Awards that voted Hillary Clinton reaches the age to vote, we will no longer stand for bigotry and prejudice that happens within our society. We will be that generation that refuse to let hatred win and continue to fester within our society. As Lin-Manuel Miranda once said in his Tony's sonnet, "Love is love is love is love is love. It cannot be killed or swept aside." And to every single girl and woman out there, we have spent so long being told that we will always come in second place because of our gender. We have been silenced and valued less simply for our gender. We have been demeaned, belittled, told to sit down and shut up and that our voices don't matter. And we have been the butt of every joke simply because we are female. And I think it's high time we show them what women can do. It's time that we showed people that we are more than capable, not less than a man, and more than our physical appearance and what we can offer to men sexually. We are intellectual, beautiful human beings who are deserving of the space we exist in no matter what people say. And the voice we have to use, we use it to speak up. I will continue fighting. I am a loud and proud feminist. I think anyone can tell you that if they've met me personally. And what I've learned from people like Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton is that a woman can get down and fight dirty, but still do it without breaking a sweat, because we are more than qualified and capable of doing it. So, for now, be angry. I'm still very angry. My sister is still very angry and she's sitting right next to me, hopefully not hearing my somewhat presidential speech. Be upset, cry and rant. But remember how it feels, how devastating it felt to see a man like Trump win the presidency against someone so qualified like Hillary Clinton. remember it and keep it inside, because honestly, the people who tell you to forgive and forget, they don't know anything. That anger is what will fuel you to keep fighting and keep on loving the people around you. You know what? Just as Hillary Clinton said in her concession speech, never forget that what is right is always worth fighting for. So to the people of color, to the women, to the Muslims, to the differently able, and the people in the LGBT community, I'm rooting for you. I obviously 1 to 3/5 of the people that Trump seems to be targeting, and I stand by you. And to the same people in the countries everywhere else, not just America, I'm rooting for you as well. We've spent so long getting the short end of the stick, but we're gonna continue fighting, right? This fight against prejudice isn't just America's, it's everyone else's fight as well. We've all had our fair share of prejudice being held against us simply for who we are as people. And as long as we keep fighting, as long as we stand together, we can make it right. And you know what? Screw what the baby boomers say about millennials being self-entitled and all that. We know our shit. We know what we want to do. We are not gonna fuck up the economy all over again. We are gonna fight for what's right. And to end this calmly, I promise not to get angry, is that if you ever need a safe space for you to talk to someone, I am more than willing to do so. Reach out to me. I really want to help. I've been told I am a good listener. I hope I am. But yes, so if you do want to reach out, if you need someone to talk to, if you need a safe space to let your feelings out to, you can follow me on my social media, and I am more than willing to listen to you. So you know what? Stay strong, keep the love alive, and never, ever, ever give up.